Right, everybody watching, I'm going to come clean right away. Yakuza is never going to be the best game that you have ever played, at least not in my opinion. But what it is a game that every anime fan should try. So here's a quick introduction which you should definitely watch if you are a fan of le anime. The Yakuza franchise is certainly popular, boasting combined sales of almost 20 million units and with installments still being released to this very day. But what is it actually about? Now let me just start off by making an admission. I haven't played all of the Yakuza games, only a few. So now you might be asking, why are you making this review? Are you even qualified? How dare you make this video? And the answer that I have to that is that you're still watching, so please do be quiet and listen to the wise man speak. So from what I have played, I can give you the following gist of what a Yakuza story is usually about. Meet Kazuma Kiryu. He's a good guy, really good at fighting and very popular in Tokyo's nightlife district. But, plot twist, he's also a Yakuza, but not like a bad Yakuza, a good Yakuza. Anyway, along comes a bad Yakuza organization that's causing trouble in Kazuma Kiryu's district. So he needs to help the good Yakuza to fight back and regain control of the district. And then there's loads of explosions and gunfighting and boom, bish, bash, bosh, and lots of emotional moments and lots of other really cool things and epic fights, intense fights, leveling up, different side characters. Wow, what an awesome story. That's pretty much it. Oh, and I've just thought of a great excuse for summarizing the story in such a shit way. It's because you need to play it yourself to find out how it really goes. I know you can't see me right now since I'm doing this in front of a microphone with no camera whatsoever, but I'm patting myself on both shoulders right now for a very well done job. In fact, you should probably subscribe to see more quality content like this. But let's get back on track. First of all, let me tell you why I think you won't like Yakuza. For one thing, the story sometimes goes very, very long. I mean, let me tell you a personal anecdote of mine. I believe it was 11 o'clock at night, and I was thinking, how about I play a bit of Yakuza before I go to bed? This was Yakuza 0, the first one. So I booted up my PC, I plugged in my controller, I pressed play, and I was rather at the end. So I finished off the final fight, and it was really exciting, very difficult, had to buy a lot of medicine to survive it. And once I'd finished it, I thought, okay, cool, final cutscene, and then I go off to bed. The final cutscene started at around 1 o'clock in the evening, and it went on until 3 or 4. It was a 3-hour long cutscene, which is absolutely ridiculous. The best part is, I don't think you can even skip it, and even if you can, you'll miss out on major parts of the story, which is a major part of Yakuza in turn, so it doesn't make any sense. So as such, you do have to be prepared that once a cutscene starts, you're going to be stuck in that cutscene for quite a considerable amount of time. So yeah, that's bad point number 1. Bad point number 2 that I can think of is that sometimes the game becomes a bit monotonous. There are times in the game when actions just repeat themselves over and over again, or you have to do the same mission over and over again just with a different skin, so it can become a bit boring. One example I can think of off the top of my head is street thugs. In Yakuza, you walk around 2 distinct districts, the Tokyo nightlife district and the Osaka nightlife district. And in both of these districts, even if you are, level 800 mafia boss, you still get attacked constantly by street thugs. So I'm just sat here editing this video. Please excuse the voice, by the way, I've got corona right now, and I noticed that I failed to give context for this clip. I ran around Tokyo's nightlife district Kamurocho for 10 minutes in Yakuza 2 and got stopped by 6 street gangs. 6. Let that just sink in. They're easy to beat, they drop next to nothing, and they're basically just a pain in the arse. So either you have to continuously run to avoid them, or you have to fight about 4 gangs of street thugs before you get to your next mission point. And this is in a tiny area. It's not just like you meet one gang of street thugs every now and then, which would be a sort of exciting game mechanic. No, they're literally everywhere. I don't know what the cops are doing. Like, the cops should seriously be sorting this out. The street gangs are just assaulting people left, right, and center. It's a crisis. But yeah, that's one of the points. There's also quite a few fetch quests and other similar things that you are used to from other games as well, which can make the story a bit boring. But other than that, very interesting. Okay, I think I've badmouthed the game enough for now, so let me talk about some of the great points. First up, the characters. I really like the characters. The characters are sort of almost anime-like, sort of really hard-boiled anime-style characters, like Kazuma himself, obviously, the guy who you play. Then there's also one of my favourite characters of all time, who everybody who's already played one of the games is going to recognise, Goro Majima. I'm not going to say anything more than that, because he's something that you just have to experience rather than be told about. if you really aren't going to play the games, then you might as well Google Goro Majima cutscenes on YouTube or something like that. They're very entertaining to watch, I promise. But please, if you are going to play the game, just let Goro come onto you. Oh god, that sounded really wrong, didn't it? Anyway, moving on swiftly, very swiftly, another cool aspect of Yakuza is that the stories are always very intriguing. You can't always tell what's going to happen next. There's a lot of intrigue, backstabbing, people suddenly turning around and revealing their true nature, their true character, so that's something that Yakuza does very well. I'd say it's better at storytelling than it actually is at being a computer game. The mechanics of the game just aren't quite as great as the story is, and the story really is intriguing, so I'd say that's probably the best part about Yakuza, a very engaging story. Now it's finally time to wrap up this video. So, you shouldn't play Yakuza if you aren't really into the following anime: Yankee anime, gangster anime, crime anime, detective anime, realistic anime in general. If you aren't really into these sorts of anime because you think they're not really your style or you find them boring or anything like that, then Yakuza isn't going to be the game for you, because that's literally what it is. It's a crime, Yankee, gangster, realistic anime with game mechanics. But for all of those who enjoy these types of anime, and those people who maybe don't enjoy the anime but enjoy crime series or something like that, definitely play this game. Lots of fun, can definitely recommend, easy to get into as well, and it doesn't require much in the sense of gaming ability. But even so, it's something for you true gamers out there as well, because it has some epic fighting mechanics and different difficulty levels, and trust me, the highest difficulty level has absolutely fucked me. Multiple times. That being said, thank you very much for watching this video right up until the end. I hope you have a wonderful day. Cheers!